Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In Quranic Arabic program, today the topic is read sentence. Just to read sentences. Because in Arabic, many words, they are merged with each other. Before starting, just for personality development, kindly just give this knowledge. Inheritance law is defined by the Quran. You can see, especially in Surah An-Nisa 11 onward, those who do not give the woman their share trespass the limits imposed by Allah, because Allah has given this limit that men and women every must give the benefit of inheritance. So if every person, whether man or woman, ignore it, then they will be responsible to see with Allah on that. Now we come back to this read sentences. Congratulations, now you can read most of the words used in Quranic Arabic, because during previous 7 lectures you might have seen a lot of words of Quran, and you give this practice, and I hope that you will be just reading in the right way. It's the time to start reading sentences. Like all other languages, Arabic sentences is a combination of words. Each word is a sentence, pronounced as it were single. But unlike other languages, there are some rules in Arabic to join words with each other. It is not in case of all words. So you'll have to notice that in Arabic, that many words are combined with other words. So in English you will not find it, but in Arabic it is the case, so you'll have to understand it. For example, I give this rule, some joining words. Sometimes 2 letters, like alif, alif lam, this one, alif lam, it come and added before a word. This alif lam is a word which means the of English. Same, this is alif lam. If that word is the first word is a sentence, we will assume that there is a fath on it. By default, this will appear in that way, like this al-fath. So this fath on this alif is by default, it is there. So you'll have to pronounce, an example is al-fath, al-fath, like this. So please pronounce in that way, al-fath. Similarly, if some other word appear in that way, so you'll have to call in that way, al-fath, ash-shams, al-qamar, like this. If it is appearing at start of a sentence, some movement is used over it. Otherwise, it is always silent. If an alif carries a movement, it is considered as hamza. It is written is case of fath or a dhamma. So in case of kasara, it is written as e, like this. So this is another style. So please appear this. If it appear in this way, you'll have to call it a. If appear in this way, then you'll have to see e, like this. if a word with alif lam is the middle or end of the sentence, alif will be ignored. If this alif lam come inside it, not to start it, but it is in between something, then you'll have to ignore alif. Example is like these two words, like first is mina, and then second al-fath, but when they are combined, then you will call it min al-fath. So this alif you will ignore it. Min al-fath, appeal. So this will appear in that way. So you'll have to pronounce in that way. Al-fath, al-fath, min al-fath, like this. But if it is ignore min al-fath, you'll have to ignore alif. But if al-fath just started, then you'll have to call it al-fath in that way. So these are some, just to avoid your confusion when you will listen people in the Quran. So you will find in that way. So you'll have to understand these rules. Then we come to the two silent words cannot be read. It in that cases, it first one will be given as movement. So just it will be just an to it, but rule is that you'll have to just ignore it. These are silent. If there is a silent noon n, appear it, or tanween, appear it in that way, so it will be merged with the first letter of next word. Now you will might be ignored, but you'll have to see this. You can see the example like this word. If these two words will become, this is one is man, other is yaqnut, but when you will merge it, it will become may yaqnut, may yaqnut. So this is the style, may yaqnut. But if it is in this way, like this kasara, appeal, then this you will call it in that way, mimma. This meen will become merge with meme, mimma. This appear with that, mimma. If it appears va with noon, then you will say miu waladin, miu waladin, miu waladin. Then if they appear in this way, milladunka, that noon and l you will merge, milladunka. For memorizing, you will call them huruf yarmalun. Yarmalun. What is yarmalun? This is a terminology used in Arabic language. So just you have to note that with noon you'll have to how to merge in different style, with noon, with meme, with ya, or then with noon it will be appear min nutfa, min rabbika, like this. So please note this style of merging different words in different ways. If the first letter of next word after the silent noon is any other letter, the silent noon will not be merged. These are some exceptions. That if first letter of next word after the silent noon, then you will not merge in that case. So then, like min ahadin, for example, min ahadin, like this. So these are the rules of this merging words. Now rules about joining words. So you'll have to see that this tanween, all the end of the word, and there is an alif lam at the start of the next word, it will be read as in the, an example is lumuzatil. So this ta you'll have to merge. Lamazatin. Otherwise it was, for example, this was, if you call it separate, it will be lumuzatin, then allazi. But if you will merge it, lumuzatillazi, this will appear in this way. Similarly, in this example, you can see adan al-ula, but when they will merge, adal ula, adal. So actually, this tanween you'll have to merge in that way. Some other words appear in that style, noon becomes separate. Like this example, ada nil ula, ada nil ula. Similarly, lumuzati nillazi. So this appear in that way. So please, you will have to note this one just when you will listen the Quran, so people will merge in that way. This is the style of noon, they become changes. If there is tanween or a silent noon at the end of a word, then there is, it become ba. You will say, what it happened? Like for example, this will be like two words, min, ba'di. But you'll have to merge noon with ba, it will become mim. It will become min ba'di. Min ba'di. Instead of min ba'di, you will pronounce min ba'di, like this. Then rule is, last letter of the last word of the sentence will be silent if there is wa or ya or alif just before the last letter of the last word. The sound will be a, wa, yi. It will be very long. Example, you can see like Ar-Rahman, Ya'maluna, Al-Alamin, Al-Alamin, like this. So appear in that way. So you'll have to, so this is just to understand that the style of speaking Arabic, this will happen in that way. So when you will see some Qari, when he or she, when they speak the Quran, so the style is that way. Then the last rule is the ya, without dots placed at the end of the word. It is just the end of the letter A. It is read as alif. So although it is ya, but it pronounced in the alif. Example is ridahu, so it becomes rida, like this. Same, rida. Like the word ma'nahu, it becomes al-ma'na. So this ya will be ignored. So this is actually a silent in reality. So kindly, if you have understand these rules, then please listen. I listen one surah and some part of that other surah, and then you will have to just first you'll have to speak with this Quran. And just especially the audio, please record it and then match that with any qari in YouTube and see what are your mistakes. So this will be happen that as a result of that you will be right reading in right way. So I am giving an example of this Surah Al-Fatiha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Now, please, you also speak in that way and see what are your mistakes. So it will be your improvement of that. I share some other example. Surah Al-Duha. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wad-Duha. Wal-Layli Iza Saja. Then Surah Al-Sharh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alam nashrah laka sadrak. Wa wada'na anka wizrak. Please note that how to get rid of poverty. Just one of my article in English. Please read them. This is just to help you. Then see example of Surah At-Teen. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wat-Teeni wa-Zaytooni wa-Turi Sinina wa hadha al-balad al-Amin. Surah Al-Alaq. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم. Now you pronounce in your Surah Al-Qadr will be like this. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. Then Surah Al-Bayyinah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Lam yakunil ladhina kafaru min ahlil kitabi والمشركين منفكين حتى تأتيهم البينة. So please, you have to speak in the whole surah in that way. Surah Zalzala will be like this. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها. Surah Al-Adiyat. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا فَالْمُورِيَاتِ قَدْحًا فَالْمُغِيرَاتِ صُبْحًا. Surah Al-Qari'ah, you can see example. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Al-Qari'atu mal-Qari'atu wa ma adraka mal-Qari'ah. Surah Al-Takasur appeal in that way. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhaakumut takasur hatta zurtumul maqabir. Then you can see Surah Al-Asr. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wal asr innal insana lafi khusr. Surah Al-Humadah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wailul likulli humuzilatil lumuzah. So whatever I have explained today in lecture, you can give this practice. Just record your audio and then match with the qari how they call it. Surah Al-Fil. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashabil fil li'ilafi Quraysh أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين إنا أعطيناك الكوثر قل يا أيها الكافرون إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح تبت يدا أبي لهب وطب. قل هو الله أحد. I think you memorize it. قل أعوذ برب الفلق. قل أعوذ برب الناس. So these are examples. Please do it, and first audio record it and then match with the Qari, who are a lot of them are available in the YouTube. Then match it, that whether you are speaking in right way or some mistakes. At the end, just to do now, there are some differences in the Arabic scripts. Please note this one, that in Indian subcontinent, especially South Asia like India and Pakistan, their font or Arabic script is might different from Arab countries. In the Middle East, you can say Hamadah as in that way. This is the style in that way. You can see this one, A, E, like this. But in India and Pakistan, they appear in this way, A, E, like this. So this is just a font differences. Similarly, you can see other examples. Af'alu, innasun, insanun. In Arab, Middle East countries, they write in that way, Af'alu, insanun. In India and Pakistan, they write in this way, Af'alu, insanun. There is no difference, but the font appear in that way. Similarly, South Asia state, Fath and Kasara, their style is this way, like this. Ibrahim, they write in this way in Middle East, but in Pakistan and India, Ibrahim appear in this way. Same is the example of Ismail, Daud. So there is no differences, but just this is the font. Similarly, in South Asia, Ba, which is silent, they appear in this way, but in Pakistan and India, in Arab countries, they appear in this way, and in Pakistan and India, they appear in this way. So please don't ignore it. So whenever you will see the script of the Quran, so in different countries, they appear in that way, but it has no meaning, has no differences, and all the Qari, they pronounce in the right way. So now you have to give the practice of all this surah and give this practice and then match with the Qari, and whatever your mistakes you can avoid in future. Inshallah, in the next lecture we will discuss start writing Arabic as well, inshallah. Whatever your questions appear, please send to me in the email. I will give the answers. And if you don't have downloaded this book, please download from these links. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.